Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. We have Gary here with us. He's a marketing strategist and also referral strategist. Gary, please introduce yourself to our audience of entrepreneurs and business owners.
Yeah, thank you. As you said, I'm a marketing, particularly referral marketing strategist. I live in the UK, Devon to be precise, so right out in the countryside with really nice beaches and countryside walks. It's a beautiful part of the country. Born and bred down this way, and I wanted to start my own business from the age of about 13, and I was always fascinated by what great businesses did differently from others. And one of the things about that was particularly around the customer service, customer experience, that sort of thing. And that developed my love for business in general. But then what I realized is when you offer great customer experiences and great customer service, it leads to more word of mouth and referrals. And what I saw a few years ago was there was a lot of businesses that were struggling to get those consistent and predictable referrals. So that was something I wanted to help other businesses with because it's something that I had created my own. I say my own system. I don't do anything new, but I've put everything together that I've learned from other people that are great at getting referrals and created my own system for it in order for me to get those referrals. And then I help other people to do the same.
Great. And so what inspired you to start this business?
So a few years ago, I had a different business. It was like a personal coaching, life coaching type business, whatever you want to call it. And I built that primarily off word of mouth and referrals. And from there, that kind of developed my love for marketing, in particular referral marketing. And as I mentioned in my introduction, I started to notice there were a lot of other businesses that were struggling. I was speaking to a lot of them, saying about how you're getting referrals so consistently. That's something we really struggle with, but also that they really love getting referrals. So that kind of set a light bulb off in my mind, I suppose, and thought, oh, there's a definite need for it there. And I started to research it and saw there wasn't too many companies specializing in this area. And the ones that did, I felt like they weren't actually doing it in the way that I would personally go about it. So I felt like there was a place in the market for me, and that's kind of where my company came from.
Wonderful. And what's your plan for your business for next 1 year?
I think over the next year, for me, it's going to be about reaching more people. I believe in consistent growth, so I don't necessarily go for like the big grand goals that are right out in front of me that I think I may hit, may not hit. I like to say, okay, as long as my business is growing consistently, I try to do it on like either a monthly basis or a 3 monthly basis. And part of that is going to be reaching more people, bringing more people into my audience, and then getting in front of them through various events and obviously my own coaching services and things like that. So I think that's what I'm going to be looking for, is just to reach a lot more people over the next 12 months.
Great. And then on top of that, in terms of your, customer journey, like so what people can expect when they're working with you?
So I think when people are working with me, one of the things that they can expect is very much around how I talk about not being in line with that hustle culture. And by that, I mean, it's like always working 7 days a week, 15, 16-hour days. A lot of people promote it, particularly in the entrepreneurial space. I very much go the other way. I want to get the best results possible, but in the shortest amount of time possible, so that then you can spend the rest of your day or week or whatever with doing whatever you love, whether it's hobbies, passions, family, whatever is important to you. Because very few people truly, the only thing they care about is business. There are some people that are like that, and that's each to their own, but most people have other things they care about, whether it's their family or their passions or hobbies. And I'm all about helping entrepreneurs to get that time back for themselves, and doing that by building a business into a point that it's successful, but not at the expense of everything else. Because I've been there and done it. It's just not a place for me. And from speaking to many others, I know it's the same for them as well. So that's very much what they can expect from me when people get to know me and come into my world. Is that's what I'm going to be advocating for you in your own business.
Yeah, definitely. And then on top of that, like when you're working with people, like what's one of the sort of best results that someone got working with you?
So I think one of the most memorable ones for me, and it's not necessarily the best, but I think it's memorable in a sense of Before they came to me, they had never had a single referral at all in their entire business, but they were still doing great work. I could see that they were doing great work. They had clients that were raving about them, but the referrals weren't coming. And we very quickly got them to a point where they were getting referrals on a daily basis, I think within about 6 weeks, and they were getting at least one referral every day. And that was because they already had the foundation in place. What I love about that is they came to me with this common belief that referrals can't be consistent, they can't be predictable, you can't rely on them. And there's a lot of in this space of people saying that, and it's simply not true when you have a real strategy behind it. So I think that was one of my most memorable ones, just because of the fact that they came in with this belief that referrals wasn't possible, but they wanted them. They thought, okay, if anyone can help them, it would be me. And I supported them to do that. And because they had built such a great foundation, they was able to get the results very, very quickly. And one of the things I always advocate for and talk about is that's not necessarily the common result. Not everyone is suddenly going to be getting referrals every single day within a month, 6 weeks. And just because I talk about that, I don't want anyone to listen to this thinking, oh, I'm going to get exactly the same thing, because you might not. But what you can see from that is that it is possible to get referrals consistently, particularly quickly, if you have the right foundations in place. And if you don't have them in place, you can easily put them in place very quickly.
And what's one suggestion or a tip you can give to someone who is actually running a business but is not getting many referrals?
There's two things I always recommend first. And the first thing is start with what you already have, because most people will know people already that they can ask for referrals from. Most people, when I speak to them and ask them, they say, oh, I don't really have that many people. But then as soon as we drill into their network that they built, they actually do have some really good referral sources. So start with what you've already got, start with the relationships you've already built, and then just start asking for referrals, because that, for many people, can just be the simplest change that they can make in their business, is to start asking for referrals daily. And very often that can be enough to start you getting referrals, at least on a weekly basis to begin with. You're going to get times where people will be like, oh, yeah, I'll think about it. And then they don't come back to you for whatever reason. And you could follow up with them. And there are times where you do. But the people that you built the best relationships with, they're going to want to support you. And if they can refer to you, they will. And then if you make it as easy for that person as possible, they're going to do that. So I think that would be the two things I recommend. Start with what you've already got and start asking for referrals consistently.
And do you recommend it's better to just like ask for referral or give some incentive, or what do you recommend on that?
It kind of depends on the relationship you already have with that person. So if it's a client, for instance, a previous client or an existing client, they may just want to refer because they want to give back to you for everything you've done for them. And they may have people in their life that actually they want to see get the same results that they've got from working with you. And sometimes they don't need any more than incentive than that. You can incentivize it to encourage it even more, and under certain circumstances you can. So for instance, if you've got a referral partnership with another business, that's another example of a referral source. Sometimes it can be for an exchange of referrals between each of your businesses, and that can be just as good, if not better, than any commission. But then sometimes the commission can also encourage that as well. So if you can incentivize it, great. But another thing as well is you want to make it as easy as possible for them. So for instance, if you do it in a way that you give them any kind of frameworks and things that they can say, or scripts they can use to send the referrals and introduce you to people, great. If you tell them exactly the person you'd like to meet, because if you know some of the people they already know and you know there's a particular person you'd like to meet from their network, just say to them, I would like to meet that person. Would you be willing to introduce me? It makes it so much easier than then have to then think about who would be a good referral or a good introduction for you. So little things like that can make a huge difference.
And why it's beneficial to actually use the services from someone like you than just like, starting this referral system on their own?
So I absolutely say you can do it on your own. Anyone can do it. As I always say, I don't teach you anything that isn't already out there. The main thing that I can give you that you might not get by yourself is I can get you the results quicker, because you can learn from my experience. And because of the mistakes that I've personally made in doing this over the years, I can help you avoid those for yourself. So that's the main thing, is to avoid potential mistakes that are very easy to fall into, and the fact that you'll get your results quicker. If you want those things, then definitely come and work with me. If not, you can definitely go and do it yourself. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Great. Gary, thank you so much. And if someone wants to actually get in touch with you or find out a little bit more about you or learn more about you, how they can do that?
One of the best ways would be through Facebook. That's probably where I'm most active in terms of a social media. I'm also on LinkedIn as well. Otherwise, of course, they can just ask you to make an introduction. I'm sure you'd be willing to do that. But Facebook is generally a good place to meet me. And I know you put a lot of your podcast episodes and that on Facebook as well. So they can just click on my name and they'll be able to connect with me from there. And they can send me a message and let me know that that's where they came from through the podcast. And yeah, we can connect from there and have a conversation.
Wonderful. Gary, thank you so much for being a guest today. Thank you all for watching and listening to this episode. If you liked it, drop us a like, also subscribe and share it with your friends and family so we get more referrals.
Absolutely. Will do. Brilliant. Thank you.
All the best. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.